yesterday.
That was fun.
All right.
You still alive, or you managed to take a little?
What else are you doing there? It's like, I might pull my phone
That was
back there.
great. Yeah, the only hold on for work.
Yep.
So that's the volcano which erupted in 1973. The old crater was on top. You can see the old crater behind the hill. And this eruption created a new fissure. So there was a new crack opening where the crosses, that's the approximate place where it started. The surface looks a little bit different now because they made a road to access the crater, but that's where the eruption started. So it created a new fissure. It was the same like in Grindavik, like the eruption which is occurring now. It also created like a new fissure, and then the new crater was formed. There were many lucky circumstances around this eruption. It could go way worse than it was. And first lucky factor was that the eruption started here, so the lava flow went first to the ocean. If it would go directly to the town, it would cover probably 80 to 90% of the town. Also, it was very fortunate that conditions on the sea were so harsh that almost none of the fishermen's boats left. So they were all here in the harbor, and they were ready to evacuate people pretty quickly. And 5,000 inhabitants were evacuated within less than 1 day. So it's really good. It's really good timing, knowing that with the ferry we have now, it's fast ferry, and it takes 40 minutes one way. So in 1973 we had 1,000. Yes. After people were evacuated, 400 of volunteers came back to the island to watch over the situation. So the big job was to clear the roads because of the amount of ash which was erupting, and there was so much ash that some houses, the closest to the volcano site, their roofs were collapsing under the weight of the ash. So the big job was to clear the ash. They also needed to go on the top of the roofs and shovel it down. Yes, and in 1973 there were 1,350 houses, and 400 of them went completely under the lava. They were completely gone, completely buried. Another 400 were partially damaged because of you can see huge rocks around, they erupted, they were flying far, also damaging the houses and also the ashes, because there was so much ash that it was also making the roofs collapse. You can also imagine like nobody was really trained how to behave when the volcano is erupting. So there's a story from my boss. His family is the local family. They were here during the eruption. So his father woke up during the night because of the noise. He looked through the window. He saw the volcano erupting. So he ran to his father's place. He tried to wake him up, but his father didn't want to believe him. Didn't want to believe him for 15 minutes. It took him 15 minutes to convince his father that actually they need to evacuate because volcano is erupting. And the first words he said after he got convinced, it was okay, we'll evacuate, but first I need a coffee. So it was in 2 a.m. Eruption started at 2 a.m. and it was lasting for 5 months, constantly erupting with lava and ashes. So the island increased its surface 20%. Back in the time we had 12 square kilometers. Now we have 14.5 square kilometers. So you can imagine that shore was starting much closer than now. But not everybody was so calm about the eruption. There was one man who was spotted so he completely panicked. He went into the survival mode. First he grabbed some food. After he went to the safe place, which was the harbor, the place of the evacuation. And just at the harbor he realized, okay, I forgot something. And his family was still sleeping in the bed. So the eruption was lasting for 5 months, and the ground after the lava flow got so hot that they could use it for 15 years to heat up their houses. So before they needed to burn coal or wood. After that they started, in 1974 they made first power plant using the heat accumulated in the ground after the lava flow, and it was lasting for 15 years. It was good to use for 15 years. Nowadays, 50 years after the eruption, if you will go on the top and you will remove the first layer of the ashes, you will feel it's still warm even after 50 years. So you can imagine how much energy was created during this eruption. Also, like I said, the main occupation of the people from here is the fishing industry, and the harbor is the biggest thing here because everything goes through the harbor. All goods, all people are transported by the harbor. Nowadays they are thinking about they are going to make the underwater tunnel, so you can just access it by car, because once the weather gets really bad, you can't leave the island. So that's why the kids used to call it Alcatraz, because once you come in, you don't know when you will go out if the weather is bad.
The tunnel from where to where?
Sorry?
The tunnel's going to go from where to where?
From the main island to here, the shortest way.
From Iceland?
Yes, the main island is here. You can see that's Katla volcano, the mountain there, and that's the shortest way to the shore. So at some
What were
point,
they excavating where we were?
sorry,
What were they doing?
up there.
No, no.
Yes, they are making the salmon farm.
Making it.
Salmon farm.
Salmon farm.
Yes. Which is good and bad. Well, that's a pity that they are destroying part of the lava field, but it will provide many jobs for the locals. And if you want to live here all year round, you need to have a job here. And tourism industry closes during the winter time, so pretty much only fishing industry stays here all year round. Of course, plumbers are needed all the time and mechanics are needed all the time, but mostly it's the fishing industry which goes all year round. Yes, so at some point lava got very close to the entrance to the harbor, which is just between this mountain and the lava field. You could see it's very narrow now. Like the big cruise ships, they have problems to fit in, and it's because the lava was going to close off the entrance to the harbor. So they needed to prevent it, because once lava is solidified, it's really hard to remove. So somebody had an idea to cool down lava with water. They followed it. They set the water pumps on the shore, and they started to pump seawater on the flowing lava. They didn't manage to stop it completely, but they managed to slow it down, and luckily eruption stopped after. So that's how they saved the harbor. There was only one man dead, which is also a very good number for 5,000 inhabitants, 5,003 inhabitants exactly. And it's because he didn't follow the evacuation in the right time. Except to evacuate directly, he went to the pharmacy to look for his medicines. They said he was taking the medicines daily. So he went first to look for the stash of his medicines, but the pharmacy was located in the basement, and he got suffocated by the toxic gases there. But still, it could go way worse. After all, the outcome was not so bad. Of course, like 400 of the houses were destroyed completely. 400 needed to be rebuilt. There was a big job to clear the town after the eruption. It was lasting for 5 months, so it was very exhausting for the people also. But we can still visit it. You could come to enjoy this unique volcanic environment. And yeah, if the harbor would be destroyed, if some factors would change, that wouldn't be possible anymore. So luckily it happens like this. All right, any questions? No? Last photos?
Okay, so this is definitely a tour worth to do, and thanks for watching this. This is definitely a cool spot. So we've got some blue sky popping through here, so we're going to take some pictures.